Okay, tonight the President will be making his first address to Congress. He's already announced a budget that will make cuts to departments such as the EPA, which has upset some business leaders who believe companies can be environmentally sustainable and socially impactful. One such man is Daniel Lubetzky, CEO and founder of Kind. So Daniel, Kind, of course, the snacks, and you're branching out further and further into different flavours and different types of snacks. What do you find most sort of objectionable about Donald Trump's stance?
My concern is not necessarily about any particular policy, and I'm not here to object to Donald Trump. I'm concerned about making sure that we unite our country, and so any policies that we move forward with should be policies that approach the people with dignity and that unite our country and that help us do critical listening so that both Democrats and Republicans start finding common ground in what's the right future for our country.
Sure, but practically as a CEO that has to run a company and continue to grow sales and, and a food company as well, which isn't the easiest, where are the challenging points for you?
I think clarity of where we're heading would be probably useful. I don't think anybody knows where we're heading. The Agricultural Secretary has not yet been confirmed, so we don't know where that policy is going to go. But regardless of where politics go, I'm primarily focused on making sure that the consumers are informed properly. We just announced an initiative called Feed the Truth, where we're donating $25 million to consumers, to this organization called Feed the Truth, and then removing ourselves so that an independent group of advisors are going to appoint a board that's going to then help make sure that science and nutrition are serving the public rather than special interests.
Right, and you're involved in some kind of a disagreement with the FDA on this one.
Well, no. About 2 years ago, the FDA advised us that we couldn't use the term healthy on our bars. And when we looked at the regulation, we realized that it didn't make sense, because under that old regulation, you could have sugary children's cereal call itself healthy, and children's pudding and toaster pastries whose number one ingredient is sugar or refined starches call themselves healthy, but you couldn't have tree nuts or salmon or avocados or olives call themselves healthy, and we realized that that didn't make sense. We filed a citizens petition. The FDA remarkably reversed its stance and recognized that the regulation needed to be changed, and they passed temporary guidance. And so this is going far, far, far beyond this. Last fall, we found out that the Sugar Association for 60 years had been deflecting attention from sugar and pointing the finger at fat to try to skew regulation, and it really awoke in me the need to make sure that we give voices to doctors and scientists and nutritionists who are trying to look after our health.
How many employees are you at now?
We're about 600, not counting manufacturing personnel that are in co-manufacturing.
If corporate taxes were to be reduced, would you hire more? Would you invest more in capital?
I'm a very peculiar type of person that no matter what, I'm going to try to reinvest into our growth. But I do think overall that our tax structure for corporations with a double taxation relative to other countries is putting American companies at a disadvantage.
So you would like fewer taxes, but that wouldn't necessarily spur you to invest? I'm
going to invest in our country and in our team based on what the market tells us. If the consumer likes Kind bars, we're going to grow.
What about the border adjustment tax? How would that impact do you make everything and do you source everything in the US?
100% of what we make is in the United States. Every one of our factories, every one of our products are made in the United States. And the predominance of our raw materials come from the United States, almonds. But I still think that the border tax doesn't make sense, even though it probably would impact us positively, because some of our competitors, our largest competitors, may be importing and manufacturing abroad. Overall, for the economy, I don't think it's going to help the consumer. I don't think it's going to help the economy, and it's going to catch up with it.
Would you have to put up prices in any way if there was to be one brought in?
We would react to whatever the market does, and we buy almonds based on the price that they are. 85% of the world's almonds are grown here in the United States, but depending on whatever other dislocations happen, we probably would react to the market.
I mean, in some ways it would take away your market advantage, right, of made in America and being wholly sourced.
No, it to our company would benefit us, but to the overall economy, I think a lot of what we make in America, not counting Kind bars, but other televisions, use components from Mexico. And if you tax those and then you come in here, it's probably going to make us less competitive for us to be able to export the more expensive machinery and stuff. So I think border tax adjustments as a general proposition are not the wisest. But I'm not a policymaker, and maybe there's a way to increase the upside and lower the downside. But as a general proposition, I'm a free marketer.
And just finally, of the 2017 outlook for Kind, is there an exit in the works at any point? Or are you looking to?
No, we want to double down. We're one of the only companies that have achieved a sizable presence in the market, where 100% of our portfolio is made up of products whose number one ingredient is nutritionally rich, where 100% of our products, the predominance.
So you're not
of the
taking on
ingredients
any
are good.
new investors or anything like that?
We might take new investors, but we're going to focus on the long run.